What's going on, guys? Chew here. Goodness, I just realized it looks like that. But hey, I'll leave it like that. How's it going? It's been a hot minute since we've been on this channel, but I'll be honest, been busy with life. Uh, really, where do I even start? It's been however long it's been, and a lot's happened. Um, had a baby, and that's the most important thing that I want to go ahead and mention. Um, it's a girl, is just amazing. Uh, I could go into it all day long about her, but I'm not going to. Um, but it's part of the reason why I've been busy. And honestly, conventions have been something that we've hesitated to go for a lot of reasons, obviously, but we've gotten comfortable. She's a bit older now. It's a few months now. And honestly, it's been fun. We took her to this convention. This was her first convention. And mind you, and at the time she was only 4 months. And so she's a champ. She really is. I'm not gonna show any pictures of her. It's not my style. But she handled it really well. And that's what I really want to start off with. She did really well. We had so much fun with her, and this convention was the best one for her to start out with. Of course, we're gonna take her to more. In fact, we're gonna go to one in August, and that'll be something. That'll be mostly an experience for me because that'll be a convention that I'm only really going just to tag along. And I rarely ever do that. Whenever I go to conventions, I normally am meeting people, and that was kind of my priority, has always really been the priority. But, I'm not. And that's okay because this convention is mostly going to be with our friends, and it's something that I'm willing to just kind of like step back and really just kind of be there for them, and to obviously be the one to watch over our baby, or my wife, me and my wife's baby. So, it's gonna be fun. I definitely look forward to that. But we did meet some fun folk, and having a baby really changes the experience that you have. Now, sometimes because it was a good amount of people, I'll say we had a good amount of people that we saw, and so sometimes me and the wife had to split in order for us to meet people. Some people we really wanted to meet together, and we did that. So I enjoyed it, and honestly, it was fun. It's a different experience when you're able to do that with your baby. But let's go ahead and get into it. I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of a background as to what's happened, where I've been, if you guys even cared. I just wanted you to know. Again, I don't know why that bothers me, but it does. But here we are. You know what? I can't continue like that. I'm going to fix it here. I'm not even going to stop recording. But yeah, I'm going to talk while I do this. I look like a cholo now. There we go. That's my shredder. I didn't like that horn. So, first person I want to go ahead and mention that got to me, and I have the book bag here with the Funkos. Gonna go ahead and mention because the experience with this person was so different than we've had before. Now, I am really happy that we got to meet him again, and it's been years. They normally are busy, and they were busy here, but there was nothing in comparison to other conventions. And that is our good friend Eric Vale. And we got him to sign Shigaraki, who has always been on our goal, and wife loves fruit baskets, Yukisoma. And so what's been different about it is that we met him already 2 different times. We met him years ago in a convention that was really tiny that no longer exists, and was I want to say 2016, so it's been 10 years. And this guy has really changed so much, and he's gotten bigger, I'm glad for him. But we've met him the first time. It was a nice experience. I remember that. Second time, I made it awkward, but he was always kind of a strange guy anyway. And I'm glad that this time, when he saw our baby, he lit up. And he's a grandfather now. He talked about his experience as a grandfather. He had a kid. His kid had a kid. and they were also in the same situation as us. Not to dive into it very very long, but our baby, it was premature, and no struggles, no major struggles, just weighed under the, under what she should have, and she's made it through, obviously. But he had a similar experience as a grandfather, and he talked about that, and we got a little button. I don't know where it's at right now, but he gave us a little button. He saw her, and it was just fun, and he didn't care how long it took. It wasn't like an exceedingly long conversation, but it was so fun to talk to him, and I really really enjoyed that he was able to kind of give me a different side of him that we have gotten before. And again, having a baby does, I think, change the interaction, because sometimes, when it's just you or it's with your significant other, sometimes you have memorable moments, sometimes not so memorable. But having a baby, and I've seen this before, like with other people, and they never annoyed me, but I thought it was a bit but it was fun. It was definitely fun to see him, and he really was a breath of fresh air just to see him. And maybe we met him during some stressful times, and I'm not going to hold that against him at any point. Um, but we also got to meet, personally, me, I met Stephanie Young. She is a delight. I want to say she was very nice. She's musical, which is kind of cool. And we got her to sign Nana Shimura, which is out, kind of piggybacking on the fact that, this character are from the same series, and she was nice. I really enjoyed her. She was cool. She had been on our list for a while, and she's voices many other characters that we like, but Nana is probably the one because of the series that we love, and she's such a great character, and I love that she voices badass characters. And a lot of the females that we meet, they really do a great job, making these characters, which are already badass in their own way, but making them more badass. And I don't know, it's just, personally, I really enjoy that. Then I also got to meet Dallas Reed. He's famously known for being the voice of Asta and Black Clover. Now, I have a lot of Black Clover Funkos, but I told myself I didn't watch it in dub. Therefore, I'm not going to go and start now. I'm really not. I really have more than, I think, about 10 of the Funkos of Black Clover, maybe more. I'm not even joking. And I just don't want to get them signed. I also think that, it's a lot financially, and that's also another factor, and I take that into consideration. But I met him alone. I want to say that I met Stephanie alone, and I've met him, and he signed our Juzo Honanuki. He's also a lesser known character. He's Mudman and My Hero, which, again, I'm surprised he even got a Funko, but I take it as like, all right, that's cool. I appreciate you doing that. You know, we also got to meet, surprisingly, Nana. I mean, excuse, Mommy Cha. I was surprised that we got to meet her, which is voiced by Michelle Rojas. We had her. She was a really cool character on the show. Love her. And Michelle Rojas, I think, is a person that, she's done so much voice acting for so long now that it's hard to miss her voice, and I respect her. I really respect her. I think she's Hispanic. I think that's her background. But she's really cool. It was nice. We got to meet her together and with our baby. She wasn't like overly fond, and that's okay. I'm not expecting that at all. Like, I'm really not. But it was nice to see her, with, at a convention like this. We also got to meet, what's her name? Oh god, the names are slipping through my head right now. But she voiced Mina Ashiro, and there it is, Caitlin Barr. And fun fact, she's actually not only Mina Ashiro, but she also is sorry, Ryuko, the lady Ryuko from My Hero. But that's not the fun fact. That's not the fun fact that I'm trying to get at. She actually is from the state of North Carolina. Her parents are from there, and she was born here. She was actually from Wilmington, North Carolina, and I think that's bananas. A local talent. And I told her, I was like, it's really cool that you came back here, and you know, uh, I'm sure you do very often, and it's really cool. And her parents were there, and I would have wanted to ask, but I didn't, and I felt a bit shy about asking this, which is why I didn't. Um, about how does her parents feel about her being a voice actress? Not, I'm saying that it's a bad thing, but like when she presented it for the first time, their parents are like, I want to be a voice actress. Like, what was their impression? I always like seeing those kind of things because I don't want to ask, what did you think about this voice acting and all this and that. Like, I'll talk about that with, like, certain people, like, what roles do you prefer? And that's what I asked Stephanie Young. And in her case, she really loved voicing uh, the Spider Lady from Soul Eater. And I'm like, such a cool character, which she had a Funko. But it's those things that you don't normally see, and I was really happy to actually ask that question. But like here, I didn't ask it, and yeah, I feel a little bad about it, as I should have. Um, got to meet Kent Williams again, and I looked at my Funkos the other day, and I was like, I don't have a shin signed, and I'm really upset about it. And I actually put him to the side, and I thought I had him over here, but I guess I didn't. But I wanted my shin signed, and I didn't have it at the time. And I remember meeting him before at Ichiban Con, and we got something else signed. And I was hoping that I was like, oh man, the Funko I wanted isn't out yet, and it was out right after that convention had ended, and that was like a couple of years ago. And I was like, all right, I'll get it, and we got the Funko, and we waited and we waited, and I got it, and it just he never was announced until this convention, and I completely forgot to bring it with me. But we did find out that he was Commissioner Go and Soul Eater, and I did not. It didn't register in my mind at the time. So seeing him and he had the Funko at his table, we're like, you know what, let's get it. And he got to meet the baby, and again, seeing babies brings out a different side on of the voice actor or voice actress, and they start talking about it, and he's like, for him, he's always wanted to have grandkids, but as of right now, his kid does not want to have any children. And again, he's around my age, so I'm like, the time is ticking. You kind of you're either gonna have one or you're not. As older as you get, time becomes more valuable, and whether you have the energy or not, that's or this position too. That's also important. If you're not willing or not wanting, okay, fair, respect, and I don't know their circumstance, but I was like, oh, I get it. It is what it is. So that was kind of eh. Now, oh, and we also got this right here. I'll show you. A few of the voice actors that we didn't have Funkos for, but some of them were actually doing these little 6x8s that they were signing. He gave us one as well. They were free, and that was cool. And I'll get to some of these that my wife and I have met afterwards, and I'll get to that. Actually, no, let's just go ahead and knock them out. I have them in my hand. We met Jason Marnocha. I want to say that name right. And he signed it. He's actually a Katana Man from Chainsaw Man. I actually think I have that Funko, but I didn't want to get it signed. I was like, whatever. Really nice guy. He looked like a rocker, and he saw the baby, and it was really a short meeting because he had no one in his line, which again, kind of wild. But he was nice. He was very approachable, and really cool. My wife went and met Linda Young again. She was really going over to meet her and kind of get this. And they talked a little bit, and my wife was with our baby, and she saw her and all that. And I would have wanted to go back over there to meet her, but I really hate that they don't have a Genkai. I've already met her before for Frieza, and I respect Linda Young. I really do. Like, she's always at conventions, and she's always very personable, and I think, she's just so wonderful in my opinion, really. We met Chuck Huber again, and again he met our baby, and I love that he actually wrote her name on her. I'm not gonna say the name, but he said blank is a hero, and I loved it. Like, that was her third time meeting him, and I told him, like, hey man, And we didn't get a picture with him this time. We actually were supposed to. Like, I was supposed to put those online, and I forgot about it. But the whole story, real short. We saw him at a convention, real small convention that was like maybe 3 hours away, 2.5 actually, and he was there along with Peter Kalamis, and he took a picture with us for free. I was like, look, you know, we actually took a. Oh, we reminded him of like, hey, we met you before at Kamehacon, I think it was year 2, and you were eating an orange. He's like, oh, you have an orange again. And so we took a whole picture, and I've yet to this day have forgotten to post it, and I need to go ahead and do that. Like, I really do. I feel like a bad person, and I just have continued not to do it. But he was really nice, and he also has kids of his own. He has a young child. He's in his second marriage, and hey, it is what it is. Gotta do what you gotta do, and respect. And for the next two people right here, well, the next few people we've met together, me and my wife, they're really short, and I'm glad we met them. Mary Macy Ann Johnson, who is Pop Step and Vigilantes. I covered that series, and I loved it. It was a great show. She was really nice, really short, pretty also. I think her boyfriend was there, and it was an enjoyable little experience. Um, Jack Broadbent, also a short exchange, and he actually is our main protagonist in the Vigilante series, and he actually, I'm hoping he gets more roles. I feel like he's newer to the voice acting scene, so I hope for the best for him. Now, for the bread and butter here. All right, so you're gonna have to excuse me. So first and foremost, me and the wife are huge Fairly Odd Parents fans. All right, so we had to get these signed. Now we have previously gotten signatures before, and I love this. We got Cosmo and Wanda signed by none other than Dana Norris and Susanna Blake Cheek or Blakesley. I can't remember the name. And she and him were wonderful. And I love that he put Philip on there. It's great. And of course, we also got him signed as Jorgen. And we both absolutely loved it. Meeting them is a childhood dream of ours. These guys were both lovely. Suzanne was the first person we met at the convention, and she lit up when she saw our baby, and it was so sweet, and she loved it, and it was fun. It was just really nice to see her. Dana Norris was also the same way. He was just happy to see baby, talking to the baby and all that, and man, it's just those experiences that you just can't get elsewhere. And I was just so happy that we both were able to be there and meet them both, and getting to have our baby be there in those pictures too, because they're actually not the first stars well, at conventions, yes, but we also met Ahmed Best a few months back, and he was technically the first celebrity that our baby met, and that wasn't at a convention. It was at an event at a comic book store, and he was very delightful. And seeing her here, and like the adults talking to her, and her lighting up, and her smile, it's just, man, it's just one of those things that just it warms the heart. It really does. And so I really enjoyed this convention. It was this is the first year too. The wife actually heard about this convention by chance, just by chance. We were looking at Facebook, and I was like, whoa, this is not far from us. This is kind of where we normally go. And it wasn't the same spot. It was a different spot, which I think worked out for what they were having. And I really enjoyed it. It was a small convention, but tons of talent. Tons of talent. They had a lot of people, voice actors that we didn't meet because we're just not fans of the series. People from the series called Digital Circus. I'm just not, it's not me. It's just not for me. And I was just really happy to be able to have that experience and seeing these people and just having our child go to this convention. We were done in a couple of hours. We also sat down for a panel, the Fairly Odd Parents panel. We heard the voicings that they did, and it was just it was just so good. And I'm thankful for it. I'm very happy that we got to meet these people, and I'm just thankful. But I'm excited for next year. I'm excited for who they bring. Um, I will definitely be going back. I hope they continue with that same location. At first, I was a bit skeptical because when it happened, they were doing the celebration for the Hurricanes winning the NHL title, hockey title, and they were having the parade that weekend, and we were hesitant. We got there as early as we could, reasonably, and that just didn't affect us. It really never got to us. Even though the parade was probably like 10, 15 minutes away from us, it didn't affect us. So I'm very, very thankful for that. But I'm really happy. This was a great convention. ToonFusion, you guys did a great job. First time being out here in the state of North Carolina. I'm glad you guys are in other states and probably going to continue to expand. It's just such a quick, unexpected decision that we kind of did. And the ticket prices were super, super reasonable. So, really glad for that. But that's it for me, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed. The next convention that we actually go to, well, at least in video appearance, that we'll see will be Charlotte. We're going to Charlotte, Big Charlotte Anime. Sorry, I was gonna say Big Charlotte Con, but that's not the name. And excited for that one. And then later in July, we're going to be going to the convention in GalaxyCon, the biggest one of the year for us, and getting that one ready as well. So it's gonna be fun for some people's wallets. So, but not only that, it's just going to be major. I'm excited to meet a specific person that I've wanted to meet for a long time, and well, I'm jumping the gun. We'll get to that when we do, and I'm excited to talk about that one. But this one was great, unexpectedly great, and continue doing what you're doing, ToonFusion. You guys are great. That's it for me, guys. Thank you so much, and it's been a minute, and we're gonna continue to do these because it's definitely going to be something I want to go back to, doing these little haul videos, and maybe vlog. Maybe I'll feel comfortable to the idea of vlogging. I will ask my friends if they are comfortable with it, and maybe we'll do a whole vlog and then a haul video. So we'll see. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves and others. And if you guys are like this content, make sure to like, subscribe, all that good jazz. Check me out on the main channel, J Chuleta Dos, and yeah, and I'll check you out there. Stay safe.